And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Divinity Original Sin. So I had a little bit of a foul up happen at the end of the last video, and I lost internet connectivity. So all of a sudden it got cut off on me real quick. And then I went to save the game, and it wouldn't save. I tried to quick save, and it wouldn't quick save. So I didn't know what the hell was going on. And then I was like, okay, well, let me just load from the most recent save point. And unfortunately, that's when I first went to the cemetery, and I started in the down at the bottom of that ladder. So it didn't save any of the battles in the cemetery or any of that stuff. So we've got a little bit of difference of what happened then to now. I did not dig up the grave of David yet, and that was the skeleton guy that was buried that was a higher level than me. I didn't dig him up. I will eventually, but not just yet. Not because he's particularly tough, but because I don't want to risk that dog getting killed, Murphy. And this time, I spoke to Murphy since he was still alive. Oh, and I talked to Nemris, I think his name was, and I actually got that quest correct. So instead of failing it and having to fight and kill him and his spirit wolf things, I actually completed it, and I got some cool items out of it. But in the meantime, Murphy did not get killed because of this. And it works out because that dog is actually a lot more important than I initially expected, because he can smell his master Jake on any items from people who we think may be a suspect. So we want to revisit certain places and, you know, collect items from there, and then have the dog smell them. He wouldn't follow us, but he'll at least smell the things. And I want to go back to Bercia and have her check out the sheep that we found.
I think that was an insult.
Don't pay attention to the beast face. You'll only encourage it.
Okay, so this is just the training. So I don't remember exactly where Bercia was. Although I'm sure I can just look at the map. Hold on real quick. I want to see who this person is that's sitting down with a map with an X on it. Who are you, Selenia?
Source Hunter. A sight for sore eyes, if ever there was one. I know you're probably knee-deep in that awful murder investigation, but truth be told, the Legion could use your help as well.
Of course you could, because everybody needs our help.
We've been conducting a series of expeditions into undead territory, and I'm afraid I must admit they've met with very little success.
Oh yeah? With whom do I have the honor of speaking?
Lieutenant Selenia, at your service. I'm Captain Aureus' second in command, but rest assured I am a lot more kindly inclined towards source hunters than thieves.
Oh, okay.
Now, I certainly don't mind a bit of healthy competition, and even rivalry between our orders, but I, for one, have no intention of looking a gift horse in the mouth.
Okay, so we like her.
And that is exactly what your presence in Sicil is, Source Hunter. A gift and a blessing. Only heroes such as yourself can make a true difference in this troubled part of the world. Such is my honest conviction.
Okay, let's talk about the undead.
The undead. I pitied them at first. Many among them were once kind and innocent civilians of Sicil after all. No longer do I feel that way, though. Too many of my soldiers have fallen. The dead must be put down without mercy, if we can. The bravest among my men and women tell me they are weaker in the west and stronger in the east. So I suggest you head westward if you want to flex your muscles and test the waters before blindly diving to your death.
Okay, so I'd like to talk about the matters concerning Legion.
I shall be very glad to share what information I can give you.
Okay, how about the expeditions in the hostile territory you mentioned?
If ever we want to be victorious in Sicil, we have to track down the root of the undead uprising. Under the Pact of Volunteers, 3 expeditions were launched to do just that. But so far, none of their participants have returned. 3 landmarks were chosen for further investigation. The lighthouse, the burial mounds, and the old church. Places fraught with danger all.
Okay, what about the lighthouse?
There's a lighthouse to the west, up on the bluffs, overlooking the sea. No man has gone there in a decade, and yet a light shines from its pinnacle every night.
Spooky.
The locals say it's haunted, and half a dozen legionnaires have gone to find out whether or not those are mere tall tales. I fear for their safety.
What about the burial mound?
There are ancient burial grounds to be found north of the city. As good a place as any to start looking for necromancers, wouldn't you say?
Sure.
A local archaeologist offered to tag along with the men. Here's hoping his knowledge on the subject may prove to be of use to them.
Indeed. Let's discuss the old church.
There's a church to the northeast of here, built atop the very place where once stood a temple dedicated to the source. The Sicilians razed it, and built a church for the 7 instead, supposedly to symbolize the victory of the gods over evil sorcery.
Okay.
All superstitious mumbo-jumbo, if you ask me. But when the dead rose, that is when they were first spotted. Hence the expedition.
So you mentioned a pact that you made with your legionnaires.
So I did. The Pact of Volunteers. Many legionnaires will do whatever it takes to go home, which is why I personally sign their transfer orders the moment they make it back from a mission behind enemy lines. The chances of survival during these sorties are only about 1 in 10, you see. So my soldiers are free to volunteer, and if they are successful, they just bought themselves a boat ride home.
Okay. I'll take my leave. Okay. Well, let's go back to the philosopher. So that's when he completed his test, which inspired him to move into the next life to challenge someone else. Yeah, that was way different than we had to kill him.
Joking. I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Come on with the dramatics. It's not
So the undead scourge. The Legion's Lieutenant Selenia asked us to root out the source of the undead plague in Sicil. She informed us that the dead that haunt the lands west of Sicil seem to be weaker than the ones haunting the lands to the east. Okay. Expedition Lighthouse. Lieutenant Selenia informed us about a Legion expedition to a lighthouse out west, rumored to be haunted by ghosts. Her soldiers haven't made it back yet, and she wants to know why. Sounds like a job for the Source Hunters. Expedition Burial Mounds. Selenia informed us of the Legion expedition to the burial mounds north of the city. An archaeologist accompanied her soldiers to inspect the tombs and possibly unearth the solution to the undead mystery. And the church. Selenia told us about an expedition of legionnaires that was sent to an old church northeast of Sicil. The legionnaires have been gone for quite some time, so she asked us to find out what became of them. Okay, so two other things real quick. I need to go back to, well, I'm just go right here because I think this is what it was. I have a ton of books, and apparently I don't need to hold on to them. I can sell them. So that's what I'm going to do.
Well, Source Hunter, you've got the right place, you have. I got every style of equipment to fit you from head to foot, if it's a trade you're after.
I don't want to sell my backpack. Okay, wait. Hold everything. Oh, man. Alright, hold on. Oh, this is gonna be a pain in the neck. So what I don't want to do is I don't want to sell anything that's glowing. But anything else that any other books that I have, I've already read them, so I don't have any reason to hold on to them. So, and something else that I was reading was what I would actually want to do with the backpack is I should put items in the backpack, such as I should put in, like, if I have a magic user, I should put potions and stuff there, or like I should put all my arrows and stuff in it for anyone using a bow, food in there for healing, like basically do that, and then map the backpack to one of my hotkeys, so that when we're in the middle of battle, I can just access that, which is a good idea, something I hadn't thought of, and I wouldn't have thought of on my own because that was kind of odd. Crap, yeah. So I apologize. This is a little bit of clutter maintenance here, and I can't just, whoops. I can't just easily move stuff around because this is ported to a console, and it's still got the convoluted setup that would be smoother if I was just using a PC. I have to do the same thing with Scarlet. She's got a bunch of books too. Because that's what it does. I at one point I was like, oh, I'll just put all the books in the backpack, just so that they're not cluttering up my inventory, not realizing that that was a stupid thing to do. Oh well, what can you do? But yeah, because like everything else, like every book that you read, it all goes right into your it goes into your journal. So anything important I don't really need. Just making sure that nothing here went unread. Quality of a proper... I thought it said paper sword. I was like, what the hell is a paper sword? Like, I found a paper knife, but I think that was made for cutting paper. I don't know. Like an X-Acto knife kind of thing. Anyone not from the United States, I don't know if you guys are unfamiliar with an X-Acto knife. Okay. Okay, fortunately she doesn't have nearly as many. She's got so much crap though. The only thing is that she's got a lot of nonsense that I gotta figure out what I'm doing with. Something I meant to do earlier, but I'm like, you know what? I gotta get online. I gotta start playing the game because it was a little too much of me just kind of doing little fiddly things offline, and I wanted to get playing. So another thing that I gotta do that's different is at the end of the last video, I was talking to an old man, an old elf, and we're gonna meet up with him at the tavern. I haven't spoken to him again yet, so we still have to speak to him and get that all sorted out and get that quest underway. But right now, haven't done it. So okay, so what is this? Poison arrow. Okay, so see things like this. is what I should put in the backpack. Oil flask. Same cloud arrowhead. That's not an arrow though. This is an arrow. What I need to do is I need to craft arrows. So arrowhead. Fire arrow. Again, I apologize to you guys if this is boring stuff. But this is kind of the nature of a lot of role-playing games. You're doing a lot of... It's not just fight, 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 fight. You gotta do a lot of management. Okay, so here's another arrow. Trying to see if something that was down there was another arrow, but I don't think so. She also has grenades. Slit arrow. Okay, now let's look at crafting. What's that? Oh, arrow shaft. I already have arrow shafts, okay. Alright, so never mind. Let's put this. Oops. Yeah, that was going to be a mess. Let's try that again. We got that. And there is... Stunning arrowhead. Yay, stunning arrow. What is that? A water balloon. Stunning arrow. Oh wait, why did I do that? Did that use it up? Okay, good. Steam cloud arrowhead. Okay, so we make another one of those. Hooray! Do I have any other arrowheads? I don't think I do. I think that was all of them. But I need to make sure that Bannon doesn't have any. Because there's a very good chance that he does. What is that? Oh, a needle. Okay, so he really doesn't have a whole lot of stuff. Scarlet seems to be the one that's carrying the most. Scarlet, I think, should also probably be carrying grenades. Or maybe not. Maybe I should have Bannon carry grenades. Perhaps.
Okay, so why don't you talk to the quartermaster?
Well, Source Hunter,
You come to the right place, you have.
I
got
bet I
every
have.
style of equipment to fit you from head to foot, if it's a trade you're after.
Uh-huh. I'm not getting much with these books. Literally getting a piece of gold each. Imagine if I didn't sell my... Hold on. Let me just make sure real quick I didn't sell something like really important. Okay. And then Scarlet, you
Well,
go ahead.
Source Hunter, you come to the
can
right
sell
place,
your
you have.
stuff.
I got every style of equipment to fit you from head to foot, if it's a
Alright.
trade you're after.
I gotta put those arrows in, put them away. Patty cake, patty cakes. I had two of or I had a couple different versions of this, alright. Old parchment. I feel like I should hold on to that, but I don't know why. Let's just say I don't know what it would be for. I just feel like I need to hold on to that for some reason. Alright, so let me... One last thing of inventory management. I'm going to send... Oil flask. Put that in there. So I'm going to put the last couple arrows in the backpack, and I'm going to send all my grenades over to Bannon. Because she does things from a distance, except for the smoke grenades. I'll hold on to those. Throw them in the backpack too. But that way, with the grenades, I'll have something, or Bannon will have something. Yeah, but he'll have things that he can use from a distance. So if I'm running into something that I don't want to get close to, it would make more sense. I don't know what to do with those inert stones either. Alright, so... Oh, he's got smoke grenades. Is that infinite smoke grenades? No, it's just a weird symbol I'm looking at. Okay, so... Firestorm grenade. How did I not sell those?
Well, Source Hunter, you come to the right place, you have. I got every style of equipment to fit you from head to foot, if it's a trade you're after.
I guess those were items that I can't sell because they're quest items or something. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Will we encounter Bertia?
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
I think it was down there too.
Damage, are you joking? I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured for life.
Come on.
Sorry,
We continue going down this way. Or maybe not. So what's over here?
Daemon Daemonium. I'll find you yet. More prey awaits.
Okay. You're not who I intended to talk to.
You're a source hunter, aren't you? They say you can talk to animals, but I for one won't be falling for such a tall tale.
It's not a tall tale. Some of us can do that.
Welcome back to Seal Hunter. The Legion greets you.
Okay. Hello. Hello, chicken. What's up, Trust? Wait, Cedric.
A familiar face. Come, watch the show. I promise it'll take your mind off beheading baddies, or whatever it is you do with all those muscles.
Cedric, why do you want to know what I do with all these muscles? Not much, Crust. Just gaming a little bit and, not looking forward to going back to work because I'm just exhausted. Yeah, this is very much like Baldur's Gate. I already talked to this knucklehead. And that's Reginald, right? No. What's going on, Steven? Welcome back. You get through the hurricane okay? I gotta find a way to steal this. Talking head.
My word!
Which is just funny. Should be wearing a giant oversized suit.
Scrolls to entussle you.
Alright, where the hell is Bershi? I can't remember where. Where the hell's she? Alright, so I have to go in here anyway because there might be something. Where's the door? Maybe something that I can get my hands on.
Assure me, dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine something would happen to you.
Oh, but don't you worry, my lady. We Legionnaires are highly trained soldiers who fear neither orc nor demon.
Oh, but what if you were to be ambushed, caught unawares? Oh, catch me, for I might faint.
The hunter returns. I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth.
Just place it with your head, the old bait and switch. And who's gonna know? And none of this does me any good. I need to be able to get my hands on something that I can bring back to the dog for the dog to check out, but I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I gotta get her out of here.
Hey, stop that!
I'll go where I please. I don't think I should say that. It's probably gonna end badly. Yeah, autocorrect sucks. Especially when you're spelling things properly and decides to make an entirely new word that's not what you meant. That's what my phone likes to do all the time.
Legion's greetings, Hunter. So fair a lady I have seldom seen in all of Riverlon, my friend. And I have traveled more extensively than migratory birds do. She stands accused of murder, but in my mind, her presumed guilt is a fallacy, and indeed a fabrication. Steadfast will I guard her. Never will I waver unless absolute proof of her culpability should be brought before me. And I hold no such proof exists.
She better be innocent, because otherwise you're protecting an innocent woman. Tell her you're Harvey Weinstein and you want to have a meeting with her at your inn. Oi!
And what questions are those?
Nothing. I don't really know what the hell. Anything that I grab right now is going to be right in front of her, and I'll get caught for it. Is there no one up here? Oh, ha, ha, ha. Oh, there's just a whole bunch of stuff that I could take. Smelly panties. Smelly panties. Oh my god. Let's take them. Oh my god. But I have to let the dog smell something, right? Good lord. That's what I'm taking, Crust. I'm not taking anything else. Oh wait, key to what? Oh, just the key to the house. Screw it, just in case. Just in case. Because this is... Oh, wait, this is not her house? Sure it is. Wait. Yeah, this is a house. Alright.
So tell me, Septimus, would your wife or sweetheart be compensated by the Legion should tragedy befall you on the battlefield?
I suppose so.
What do you think you're doing?
I've never bothered to inquire.
Polite, handsome, and single. Don't go anywhere tonight, Legionnaire. I'd be afraid alone.
Alright, well, we got in here anyway. Oh, look at this. There's a hatch. I think we're about to find some stuff here. But yeah, I actually have to take a... I'm going to have to take the stinky panties to a dog and let the dog smell them. This whole thing is fucked up.
My, what a strong and handsome officer you are, kind
She pooped.
Septimus. You must have fought
She made a
many
mess.
battles
Alright, let's
by
look in the
now.
hatch here. Alright, let me switch to Scarlet.
Where's Jake? Did he finally run off with that white-haired woman? What was her name? Candice?
See, this is why it's good to be able to talk to animals. Because here's something we didn't know about. Jake was talking to a white-haired woman named Candice. Frost grenade. Hey, in for a penny, in for a pound, I say. We already stole panties, we might as well steal something else. Come back here, you little shit.
Esmeralda's a funny character. She's always got ham on the brain. I've never been inside her secret room, but I bet it's full of hams too. I'd go in and see if I were tall enough to reach the button. Say!
Secret room. Why does she have a secret room? Alright, let's look in these other boxes here. Nothing. Poison cloud arrow, we'll take those. Don't really need to steal a herring. Resurrect scroll and summon wolf. We'll take both of those.
The popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
Oh, stop it. Nothing in a barrel. I mean, hey, no one can see me doing this, so I might as well take stuff. All right, Crust. Later, dude. I have lockpicks, don't I? Maybe I don't. No, I thought I just bought them. There could be something in that chest. I can't open that. There we go. Cloth scraps. Okay, take those. I need a washing tub. There's definitely ham in here. Iron key. Could that be the key to this door here? It is. Alright, what's in here? Knockdown arrow, fire wand, and an animal hide. Ham. We'll leave the ham. I don't. Let's...
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
I just have. I'm gonna get in so much shit stealing all this stuff. Unless she doesn't ever discover that I did it. Alright, we're not gonna take gold here. That'd be too obvious. I'll leave those scraps there. She got a whole bunch of gold. Well, if it turns out that she's straight up rotten, then we'll definitely relieve her of pretty much everything she has. Alright, so we have stinky panties. Can't believe I said that.
But I should have brought my winter boots.
Okay. Alright, so now... There's some white-haired lady. Possibly named Candace. Wonder if Sissel knows who that is. Hello, Maxine.
Oh, you haven't left town yet, have you? Jolly good. Join me, why don't you, for a scandalously milky saucer of feral leaf tea?
No.
Oh, he's a darling old Tom, isn't he? Pause at the risk of... Oh, dear Sam, he's such a good...
Alright, we already heard that whole spiel.
Ah, cats. Such what? Beauty. Oh, it's you! What news?
Incarnate. Slinging charlatans, more like. I wouldn't trust a cat as far as I could throw him. And I'm a world league cat tosser.
I met
Maxine?
your pet.
What in heaven's name are you? Oh, you mean the mongrel that's always skulking about the place. I spent months trying to teach that worthless hound how to fetch, and it sat through every lesson looking at me as if I were an idiot. Man's best friend, my eye.
Of course he thinks it's a dog.
I've always been more fond of cats myself.
You're not going to be particularly helpful.
My dear girl, my darling adopted daughter, my pride and joy.
But do you know she's an orc?
I introduced her to my library when she was a girl. She quickly proved that the preconceptions we humans hold of orcs as savage beasts are patently false. If you're looking for something special, just ask. She knows every book by heart. Papa's smart little cookie.
Alright, I joined the Fabulous Five.
Oh yes, the Fabulous Five. Aren't they simply fantastic? I'm sure they'll get the job done in no time, especially with your expert hand lent to their cause. That machine Ahu built is an abomination. It must be stopped at all costs. I bet the wizard himself could provide some advice regarding how to destroy it. He's the mad scientist who crafted it after all.
Okay. I really don't think... Actually... See if I can return these books now that I don't need them anymore.
Volume 2.
Charlene.
That's enough of that now!
What?
Books sprout little legs in the night. Hello again, adventurer. I hope you wiped those muddy boots on your way in.
Okay, you don't remember talking to... Oh wait, we did talk to her.
Volume 1, Volume 2. But where's the third one gone?
Okay, that's not...
Shamsu.
That's not the person.
Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. Turjageta, friend. Indeed you may. The wisdom I here hold is yours to peruse and even take with you. All I can...
Okay, so I don't need to... I don't need to give them back. So I wonder if I go to the tavern. I don't have good pickpocketing skills or anything though, so I can't really... I was gonna possibly pickpocket that one jerk who's a suspect, but I'm not good at that, so maybe...
Not in the mood for cheese.
So just go talk to the dog and see if I can get him to recognize the panties. Then we find out that that's not even something I need to have. Oh, Murphy.
Wow, that dead sheep smells pretty great. I mean, wow. But it's nothing compared to Jake. Seems like some mutt is marking my territory. Esmeralda? Jake has the best smell. I'd know it anywhere. Did you find something for me to stick my nose into?
I sure did. Here you go.
Jake was awesome, and she didn't like Jake, so I'm pretty sure she's the worst thing that ever lived. Let me get away.
Scarlet's taking smelly panties from Bannon using magic pockets.
Take this away. It smells like every rich man in town except Jake. No, there's definitely not a hint of Jake here.
Okay. Well. Oops, wrong button.
Rest in peace, darling.
God damn smelly panties. But they give a bonus to charisma. They don't have as much durability.
Where are you, Jake? Are you playing without me?
Oh, Lord.
Rest in peace, darling.
Yeah, let's put them on. Let's give these to Medora.
Where are you, Jake? Are you playing without me?
Go ahead, put the underwear on. Good God. Alright, so we still gotta talk to that old elf.
Ah, the sun is out. Oh, how
I'm
nice
skipping
it
through all
is.
this because we already spoke to him.
I am but an aged hot spice.
Okay, so, whoops, whoop, nope, hey, hoop, hoop, hey, hoop, hoop. Okay. What's new that I can craft? What do you mean? Have a new recipe? Okay, so we have an elemental. That's interesting. Alright, so. So I don't have any of that yet. Okay, and I still have to find where the hell that woman Bersha is. I cannot remember for the life of me. Which place was this? The morgue. I have not been in here. More 9-inch nails.
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul flying to his death?
And who are you?
This here's my family business. Yes, there's been a Roberts escorting stiffs into the next life since the foundation of Seal itself. They don't write epics about morticians, but I'm proud of my work nonetheless.
What do you know about Jake's murder?
Sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker. Especially not these days, with so many laid low by the orcs and such like. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get a little peace.
Yeah, well, about his body.
A sheep? That's a whole heap of nonsense. Don't bother me with such wild tales.
I'll tell you what. You tell me the truth about that sheep and I won't bother burying you alongside it. I've heard that you're a good man. Now's your chance. Well, I just got the extra bonus to charm. I heard that you're a good man. Now's your chance to help your community. Come clean and whoever's responsible for taking the body could be brought to justice. Eh, crap. Crap. Damn it. Yes.
I suppose you're right. A corpse is one thing, but I couldn't stand to have the disappearance of a living soul on my conscience. Come, I'll tell you the whole story.
I'm glad we came in here now.
I buried that blasted sheep, but I swear on my lucky left foot I had nothing to do with that body disappearing. 1 minute it was on my slab, you see. I left the room for just a moment to answer the bell in the front parlor, and when I returned, the body was simply gone. In its place was a sack containing more gold coins than I could even count. The message was clear. Silence is golden. My business has been declining right alongside the rest of our blighted city. And that sack of gold was worth more than I made during one of the good years. I needed cash, and someone needed my silence. I knew I had to bury something or risk being found out. So that night, I stole into the market and made off with Bertia's fattest sheep. It was a bloody waste to stick so much fine meat into the ground to rot, but it had to be done. The next day, the pallbearers retrieved Jake's coffin, sealed to hide the body's terrible wounds, none the wiser that within the casket lay nothing more venerable than a slaughtered beast. Now, you can imagine I've spent more than my share of restless nights wondering who could have wanted that cadaver and for what purpose. I'm not an inch closer to imagining the why, but I've got a few inklings as to the who. Near as I can reckon, there are only 4 people who could have been involved. Mayor Cecil, Captain Aureus, Theleron's apprentice Evelyn, and Esmeralda.
Okay, why would you think it would be Cecil?
Plenty of us shopkeepers entrust the mayor with the spare keys to our businesses, you know. And he's the only person in town with a second copy of the key to the mortuary.
Now, unless Cecil isn't actually as blind and deaf and, off his rocker as he seems, I don't think he's the guy. I mean, he might be faking it, but I don't think he's suspect.
He could have used it to sidle in without a peep, if he were so inclined.
How about Aureus?
Aureus himself paid me a visit the night the body was delivered. Came rapping at my door in the frosty morning, before the sun had even started peeping, and told me to tell him, and only him, if I noticed anything strange or suspicious about the remains. Can't see why he'd bothered to go through all that trouble, unless he knew something the rest of us don't.
Wouldn't surprise me either, since Aureus doesn't want any of us around. What about Evelyn?
I know it sounds strange, suspecting the doctor's apprentice of something so ghoulish as this, but there's few in this city could manage to transport a corpse without raising eyebrows. It was she who delivered Jake's body from the inn to the mortuary. And there was something about her that night. Some kind of excitement. It seemed she could barely contain her thoughts. That there was something thrilling about to happen. I can't quite settle it in my mind how a young medical professional would have such a strange reaction to an occasion such as that. And this may or may not have anything to do with the whole rigmarole. But her master, Dr. Theleron, bought an old shack of mine, one overtaken by undead, for an exorbitant price considering what he was getting. I never did figure what he wanted it for, but he sure seemed eager.
Alright, so he's really painting a picture that it would be Evelyn.
I never saw a widow less distraught at the death of her husband, and I've seen hundreds pass through my parlor. It was she who rang my bell just before the body was snatched. Lured me outside, claiming she needed air, before discussing the funeral arrangements. Some accomplice could have sneaked in and grabbed the remains while I was comforting the oh-so-overcome Esmeralda.
While you were comforting her, which is a bit of a hooah, so I wonder what you mean by that.
That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair, and I certainly plan on making some use of it.
Come now, you're a good man and a pillar of this community. Hand over this blood money before it stains your reputation and your conscience. Unless you'd like to involve the Legion in this matter, I suggest you hand over that gold immediately. Surely Bertia, whose sheep you stole, deserves this money more than anyone. Hand over the gold so it can make its way to its rightful owner. Except... Damn it! I wish I was Bannon talking right now because he's I think got a 3 in charm. What would reason be? Probably nothing more than 1. Oh, a reason of 4. Okay. Kicked his ass.
Well, with all the troubles plaguing Sicil, I suppose us natives ought to put our finest feet forward. Here, take the gold and give it to someone who actually deserves it.
Okay. Oops, wrong button. Little Bo Bersha lost her sheep. The mortician Roberts admitted to stealing the sheep. Sure did. Discovered that there are 4 possible people that might have taken Jake's body. Cecil, Aureus, Evelyn, and Esmeralda. Whoever the culprit is, he or she had better start shaking in their boots. Alright, well we know it's probably not Esmeralda because we talked to the dog. We talked to Murphy. And he didn't recognize the smell, so it's not him. Or not her, rather. Still need to know, where is Bersha? I thought that was it over here. No. I just want to place a marker. Do I not know whose house this is?
Might need to blow this one open.
Whose house is this? I certainly want to go in there because I know the whole thing is very suspicious. Oh, wait. What place is this? Okay. Right, not Bersha's house, but Evelyn's house. Who has lockpicks? She does, okay. How come I can't pick the lock? It doesn't work for regular doors? Oh my god. I'm not knocking that door down. 'Cause, 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 Oh, maybe that's what it is. I need a better lockpicking skill. And whose place is this? Oh, I just happen to have... Alright, what is in here? Butter knife, fork, orange juice, pillows. But there's nothing in here that I really need to be examining. Hello, Evelyn.
Hello again. Terribly sorry, Source Hunter, but I seem to be fresh out of priceless relics for you to destroy.
You've been named as a suspect in Jake's murder case.
Is that so? Well, I handled the corpse myself, indeed, but I hardly knew the man in life. I was shocked when Ahu asked me to come to the crime scene, but Theliron had taken ill, and the responsibility fell to me. I arrived at the inn, where the body lay just where it had fallen. The injuries were like nothing I'd ever seen. A single intricate laceration wove like lace around every inch of his skin. Neither a beginning nor an ending point were discernible. I examined the corpse and recorded what information I could. I personally delivered the corpse the short distance to the mortician's house. As far as I know, everything was, as far as a magical murder is concerned, quite normal.
Okay, now the problem is, she definitely handled the body. So, Murphy is going to smell Jake on her. So I don't think it's really particularly wise. So I need to figure out...
I know it is somewhere. I wouldn't want to ruin this particular batch of party elixir with too much worm mud.
Why am I sitting down?
Bersha's shape is gone.
Yeah. She's gone.
Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entwist you.
I've got to try to find... I gotta try to remember where the hell Bersha is. Might be her over here, is what I was thinking.
Can you spare a coin?
I already gave you money. Okay, so that's not Bersha, that's the old man's shack.
May the seven bless you, most generous friend. Oh, I am a happy man, and certainly a humble one now. It turns out losing it all has its own share of benefits. Ah, a fool once was I, and ever seeking greater satisfaction than that which I already enjoyed. In my folly, I sought the counsel of those notorious Watcher statues on the Western Cliffs. Their guidance ruined any small fortune I might have had, but certainly granted me humility.
I think I spoke to him, but I was hardly paying attention.
I'd heard they were not to be trusted, that they gave fools' advice to the fools who sought them, but somehow I believed that I was the exception. They told me that I would find fame and renown if I renounced my worldly possessions, all my worldly possessions, and became a great figure of piety and humility. Fire, the most thorough cleanser, was my method. But as my house burned in front of me, I felt no elevation, no piety, Only the sudden weight of my own idiocy upon my very soul.
Here, take 10 gold pieces.
May the soul of Astarte smile upon you, kind stranger.
I could have sworn that Bertha was over here somewhere. Damn it.
Can you spare a coin? Performers, showmen, show all of the Sicil what you're made of.
Where is Bertha? Where is she? Lady with the sheep, where is she at? I don't know. Alright. So I've been doing this stream for an hour. So I'm going to take a break. I'll come back and do another stream in a little bit. But what I'm going to do off is I'm going to try to find a map that has everything labeled online so I know where the hell Bertha is, so I'm not just wandering around and around. So when I come back, I'll talk to her. We'll try to find whatever evidence we can to show to Murphy the dog. And yeah, we'll just carry on from there. It looks silly on our new hat. Oh well, it is what it is. We get better gear as we move along in this game anyhow. So, alright guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, hope you're enjoying the game. And if you're new and you're enjoying my content, feel free to subscribe and hit that notification button. By hitting the notification button, you'll know when I'm online or when I release a video. But right now, since all my games are live streamed, at least for the time being, pretty much you'll get the notification that I am live at that moment, which means you can jump on and just watch the video, or you can hop on the chat and say hello, interact with anybody else who's watching, whatever you're into. And yeah, we all know how YouTube works. I say this all the time. Shouldn't even have to go through the spiel because by now we're all veterans of it, right? So that'll be it for now. I'll be back in a little while, but until then, peace.